By default, your radio buttons are multi-selector or single selector. By default, your radio buttons are the multi-selector or single selector. Good. By default, radio buttons are the multi-selector. Means you can do the multiple selection. But if I want to convert this multi-selector radio button into the single selector, then which attribute we are going to pass? Which attribute we are going to pass for the input tag? Everyone, I want a response. Exactly, we are going to pass the name attribute, and for this name attribute, we are going to pass the same value. We are going to assign the same value. Second thing, checkbox we are using for the multi-selection or single selection. Checkbox we are using for multi-selection or single selection. Okay, good. We are using for the multi-selection. If I want to display the calendar to select any date, that time what is the value we are going to pass for the type attribute? That time what is the value I want to pass for the, I have to pass for the type attribute. Exactly, we are going to pass the date as value. Supposedly I want to clear input box. I want to clear input box. Then for the type attribute, what is the value I have to pass? Okay, good. We have to pass the reset value. Then we learn about the drop down list. So can you tell me, whenever I want to create the drop down list, that time which tag we are going to use? That time what are the tags we are going to use? Okay, good. We are using the select tag as well as option tag. So can I make drop down list as a mandatory? Can I make drop down list as a mandatory? Is it possible? No, it is not possible. Next is data list. Next is data list. So whenever you want to give the privilege to the user, that user can enter the value, and as per that user can search for the option. That time we are going for the data list. And what are the tags we are using to create the data list? Tag. What are the tag we are using? Okay, exactly. We are going to use first tag we are going to use as an input. Then we are going to use the tag, call it as data list, and inside the data list tag we are using the tag, call it as option. Now to merge the data list with the input tag, with this data list tag, which attribute we are using? Okay, we are using the ID attribute, and with the input tag? Okay, good. We are using the list attribute. Can I make data list as mandatory? Can I make data list as mandatory? Okay, correct. It is possible. Done. So these all the things we learn in the yesterday's class. Now today We are going to learn firstly how you can take the multiple lines of input from the user. Before that, just one small point I want to cover related to input tag. Yesterday I forgot actually. So here just Control Shift N, create one HTML file, remove the meta tag and remove this doc type as well as this line attribute. Once it is done, then over here just create one form and close the form tag. Okay, one of your friend asked me that, ma'am, what is the difference between drop-down list and data list? So simple difference is there, Sai Charan. Whenever you are going to use the drop-down list, that time you can't enter anything inside the drop-down list. Manually you have to search the option which you want to select. Coming towards the data list, in the data list we are going to create the input box. That's the reason user can search whatever the option they want to select. As per that, they will get the options on your web page. So in the drop down list you can't enter the input, in the data list you can enter the input. That only one difference is there. Here I want to create one label, that is upload resume. Close this label. Now, whenever you want to give this kind of option to the user, that user you have to upload here image, you have to upload here PDF, you have to upload here video, anything, that time just use the type attribute and in any case says what is the value I have to pass for this type attribute. Exactly, I have to pass the file as a value. Now to submit the form, as you know that, use the BR tag and here just use input type equals to submit. To change the value of the submit button, can you tell me what is the attribute I have to use here? To change the value of the submit button, what is the value I have to use here? Okay, we have to use the value attribute and pass the value as which you want to display, that is register. Just save it. Today's date is 8.2.html. Go to the folder and just execute the file. Right click on the HTML file. Select it, right click on this, open with Google Chrome. Open with Google Chrome, and here if you observe, you will get the option upload resume. If you click on this button, call it as choose file, just choose any file and click on open. That file name here you will get. If you click on register, you can submit the form. If you click on register, you can submit the form. Now where this data will get saved? So this data will get saved in your particular database. How to save it, we will learn in the Advanced Java. We will learn in the Advanced Java. Then also you can choose it, no problem. Like supposedly in downloads, maybe any of the image will be there. You can choose any type of file. Either you can upload the image or any document, anything. Okay, done. So remember guys, if you want to show this kind of option to the user for uploading a file, then just pass the file as a value for type attribute. Is it clear? That thing we can restrict by using the JavaScript sidechain. Okay, done guys. Just try to within 2 minutes. Just try it, and we will see the next topic. Within 2 minutes, just try it, and we will see the next topic. This class, so observe here. So as we discussed in the yesterday's class, and many of you gave the wrong answer also. So listen guys, whenever you are going to create any input box, in this input box you can user can enter the input in single line. User can't enter the input in the input box in the multiple lines, in the text box in the multiple lines. So remember this point. Whenever you will create the input box, user can enter the input in a single line, but sometimes you will be having the requirement like you have to take the multiple lines of input from the user. So whenever you want to take multiple lines of data from the user, that time you can't use the input box. Multiple lines of data means what? Either you have to take the suggestions from the user, or you have to give the remark to the user, or else for the comment, anything, or you can call it as a feedback. Many things are there where you need to take the multiple lines of data from the user. So whenever you want to generate the any input box for this kind of data, that time we are using one tag, call it as text area. In the simple language, if you want to take the multiple lines of data from the user, that time we are using one tag, call it as text area. What is the need of text area? Just one purpose, we can take a multiple lines of data. So just observe here, in the same HTML file, I will use the BR tag. Sorry, already. Just use the BR tag, close the BR tag. Inside the BR tag, just create one label, call it as feedback. Close the label tag, and in it, just create one text area. Close the text area and just save it. Go to the browser and refresh your particular web page. Observe over here. If I am going to enter anything, if I enter, yes, you can enter the multiple lines of input in this particular box. So that's the reason we are calling it as a text area. Whenever you want to take the multiple lines of input from the user, that time you can go with the text area tag. Click on register, your form will get submit. Click on register, your form will get submit. Ma'am, can we create the placeholder in the text area? Obviously, you can create the placeholder in the text area. So placeholder in a double quote, just write down feedback. Save it, go to the browser and refresh it. You can create the placeholder. After that, can we restrict the users? That user, you have to enter this particular number of characters in this input box. Obviously, you can use it by using the max length attribute. So max length, just I am going to give here 40 as a value. Save it, go to the browser, refresh it, and just enter the random keys. 10, 30, and this is, after this you can't enter the value. Why? Because already you write down the 40 characters including space. That's the reason after 40 character you can't enter any kind of value. Okay, so you can create the placeholder as well as you can restrict the particular text area. Last out, ma'am, can we make it as required? So check it whether it is working or not. Just save it, go to the browser, refresh it and try to submit the form. So can we make it as required? Yes. So whatever the functions you can perform with the input box, same thing you can perform with the text area only. But difference between input box and text area, input box we are using to take a single line of input from the user. Text area we are using to take the multiple lines of data from the user. Is it clear, guys? You can give address also, no problem. Everyone understood how to take the multiple lines of data from the user? Okay, great. Then just try to use it. Is it done? Completed. Okay, just wait. Yeah, just these three lines, not three also, only two lines. Just write down it. And last topic of the HTML, we are HTML form we are going to learn. That is nothing but patterns. Okay, so just write down these three lines and then we will see the next topic. I gave I use the required attribute, right, Mahesh, as well as I use the max length also. Only text area, guys. Only text area. Okay, everyone listen here now. So next, Last topic in the HTML form we are going to learn, and your favorite topic actually. Why favorite? Because in the starting of the HTML form only you asked me this question, ma'am, can I enter only alphabets? Ma'am, can we restrict the user like that? Ma'am, can we restrict the user like this? Yes, all the things are possible. You can restrict, you can give the restrictions for users input by using one concept called it as pattern. So what is pattern? Pattern is nothing but it is one kind of attribute you can use with the input tag. You can use with the input tag. So remember guys, whenever you want to restrict the user's input, you want to give the conditions. You want to give the conditions for the user's data. That time you are going to use the concept call it as pattern. Pattern is nothing but it is one kind of attribute which you can use with the input tag. Here in the pattern, the speciality of pattern attribute, it will work only with the two types of input box. Means type equals to text if your input box is text type, or type equals to password. Only with this two input box your pattern attribute will work. So don't try to use type pattern attribute with type equals to number. It will not work with this particular input box. Only with the text and password. Next thing is nothing but in this pattern, whenever you want to use the pattern attribute, we have two important components. First one is square bracket and second one is flower bracket. So here, square bracket we are using to mention the content which I want to allow in the input box. To mention the content which I want to allow in the input box, we are using the square bracket. Okay, content in the sense, supposedly I want to allow 0 to 9 digits. I want to allow with the lowercase alphabets. I want to allow uppercase alphabets or any special character like @ hash, exclamatory mark, dollar and star. So if you want to allow this kind of content in the input box, that time you are going to use the particular square bracket. You are going to mention this content in the square bracket. Next is flower bracket we are using to mention the length of the content. Flower bracket we are using to mention the length of the content means what? Nothing but how many digits you want to allow in this particular input box. How many lowercase alphabets you want to allow in the input box. How many capital alphabets you want to allow in the input box. This each and everything you can mention by using the flower bracket. So remember, square bracket to mention the content, flower bracket to mention the length of the content. And second thing, why we are using the pattern attribute? To give the condition for the user's data. It will work only with the type equals to text and type equals to password. So observe here. First example, I am going to take one simple example. Nothing but this input box I will create for the mobile number, and for this I want to restrict the user listen. In this input box you can enter, firstly you can enter the only digit, and that too also you can enter exact 10 digit. You can't enter less than 10 digit or greater than 10 digit. Are you able to understand? I will create one input box for the mobile number. Over there, user can enter only 10 digit. User can't enter less than 10 digit or greater than 10 digit. So observe how you can perform this particular task. So here I will create one input box with the placeholder, call it as mobile. Again, close the input tag, br, close the br tag, save it. With this input tag, I will use the pattern attribute. For this pattern attribute, I will use the square bracket. So tell me what are the contents I want to allow in this particular input box. Contents I want to allow in the input box. Okay, 0 to 9. Then here mention the flower brackets. What is the length I have to mention over here? In the flower bracket, what is the length I have to mention over here? Correct. We have to mention the length as 10. Just save it. Go to the browser and refresh it. Okay. Now try to enter. Okay, here I will enter something. Try to enter only 7 digit. Click on register. Are you able to see the message? Please match the requested format because I entered the less than 10 digit. Again, if you enter more than 10 digit and if you are trying to click on register, again you will get. Please match the requested format. But how user will get to know what is the requested format? So for this, with this input tag only, I will use one attribute, call it as title. If you want to give the message regarding your condition which you gave for your input box, that time to provide this message we are using the title attribute. Remember, this title tag we are using for the tab name, but this title attribute we are using to give the message regarding your condition. What is the condition you gave for the input box? So must contain 10 digit. Now observe, save it, go to the browser, refresh it, try to enter the less than 10 digit, click on register. Click on register, you will get must contain 10 digit. If you enter more than 10 digit also, click on register, you will get must contains 10 digit. If you are going to enter exactly 10 digit, your form will get submit. So that's the reason I said, guys, if you want to provide the restrictions for the user input, or if you want to provide the conditions for the user's data, then we have only one option, that is nothing but pattern attribute. By using this pattern attribute, you can provide different kind of conditions for the user's input. And in this pattern attribute, we can't use this with the type equals to number. You have to use only with the type equals to text as well as password. We have two important components, square bracket and flower bracket. To give the message regarding pattern, use the title attribute. Then where I am using type equals to number? I am not using type equals to number. That's the reason I said type equals to number, Vijaya. Is it clear, guys, how to work with the pattern attribute? Why we are using pattern attribute? I will tell you, just have patience. Okay, just try it then. Try it. create the data list or drop down list. If you want to show the country code, for that you have to create the data list or drop down list, and then somewhat JavaScript code is there. You can do it then. And here just if you want to restrict the user, that user have to enter the country code, that is India, then also it is fine. Okay, just tell me the pattern if I want to allow only uppercase alphabet in my particular input box. Tell me the pattern if I want to allow alphabets, only alphabets like for the name in the input box. Complete pattern, guys. Only A to Z is not enough. Complete pattern. Okay. Now tell me, for the mobile number you have clarity. Okay. Even user wants to enter any mobile number, they have to enter the 10 digits itself. But do you have the exact length for name? Do you have the exact length for the name? Tell me yes or no. Okay. So that time what I will do, listen here. Pattern equals to in double quotes. I want to allow the capital alphabet, so I will mention the content like A to Z. Then after this flower brackets, minimum username can contain the 2 characters. So I will give here minimum length as 2, comma, maximum in my particular input box I want to allow 20 characters, or we will go with the 30. So now what will happen, whenever you are going to pass only one value in the flower bracket, that will be the fixed length for your content. If you are passing only one value in the flower bracket, that will be the fixed length for your content. But if you are passing the 2 values in the flower bracket, then first is nothing but, length is mandatory. So first is minimum value and second one is the maximum value. So just save it, go to the browser, refresh it, and here just try to enter the lowercase alphabets. And just try to register. See, you will get please match the requested format. So here I will give the message for the pattern title equals to must contain capital or uppercase alphabet. Just save it, go to the browser, refresh it, just enter the value, enter the mobile number, and here just enter the ABC. Just try to click on register, you can't submit the form. Again, if you enter only alphabets, then you can submit the form. So like this, you can write the different kind of patterns. So firstly, I gave the fixed length. After that, I gave the particular range of the length. How to give caps as well as small. If you want to allow both capital as well as lowercase, at that time, just in the square bracket itself, give the space. And here, or without giving the space also, no worries. And just here mention A to Z, save it, go to the browser, refresh it, and here if you enter uppercase or lowercase, then also you can submit the form. So if you want the combination of the content, you can go with this, or I will tell you one more pattern. In that you will get the more clarity. Okay, firstly try this, and then I will give you the notes. Then we will see few more patterns. Just have patience. Many patterns are there. Just wait, Ray. I said have patience. I will tell you each and everything. See guys, if you write this pattern now, you can write either your name in only uppercase alphabets, either in only lowercase alphabet, as well as you can write in the combination. It is not like that every time you should write in the combination of uppercase and lowercase. It will accept only uppercase, only lowercase, as well as it is going to accept the combination. If you want to allow them separately, then you have to place both the contents in a separate square bracket. If you want to allow them separately, then you have to place both the contents in a separate square bracket. So I hope it is done, because I want to teach you more patterns. Tell me guys, hey, see, question means it is question only. Every time I can't tell you, hey, yes or no. You have to tell me. If I ask you, hey, is it done? So then also you have to tell me yes means or no. You are waiting for that. Okay, when she will say, tell me guys, yes or no. What is the need of that? Question means really antique. I got antique students ever.
పెన్సిల్ కావాలి, ఎరేజర్లు కావాలి, షార్ప్నర్ కావాలి.
అమ్మా బాబోయ్. That's true fact actually. Yeah, just write down the notes, and here I gave some pattern. Just write down that patterns also.
వేదిక క్లాస్కి ఈరోజు రారా? రాకు.
పొట్ట దగ్గర వస్తుంది దాన్ని
పొట్ట దగ్గర అయితే గంతచ్చు. వేదిక క్లాస్ అయితే కొద్దిగా కూర్చో. రాయి ఇవాళ ఆంటీ నిన్నే తాకేస్తారు. అడిగారు ఎందుకు రాలేదు పిల్లలు అనేసి. తీసుకొస్తాను మేడం అని చెప్పాను. ఏమి ఇవాళ ఏమైనా పని ఉన్నదా? ఇవాళ ఏమైనా పని ఉన్నదా? Firstly, do one thing. Just try to use this particular pattern for PAN card. Try to use this pattern for PAN card. Then we will see for the Aadhaar card, and after that
We are going to learn the pattern for something, password, email ID like that. Just try it quickly. And just write down like this. Firstly, I want to allow 4. So Aadhaar number will not start with the 0. That's the reason I will allow here 1 to 9. I want to allow only 4 digits. Then after that, give the space. Okay. After that, give the space. You have to give this space manually. Then flower bracket, how many space you want? So I want only 1 space. Again, I want 4 characters. Again, I want 4 characters. Sorry, 4 digits. Then again, I want 1 more space. And at last, I want 4 digits. So here 4. Just save it. And close the input tab. Just save it, go to the browser and refresh. So here just enter the values. Enter the mobile number. Then here enter the name. And here enter the Aadhaar card number. If continuously you enter the Aadhaar card number without having the space, just click on register. You can't submit the form, but if you give this space in after every 4 digits, then you can submit the form. So what I did here, nothing but manually here I mentioned this space. So like this, you can allow the spaces in your particular input box. Like this, you can allow the spaces in your particular input box. Because somewhere Nandini, I think mistake will be there in your code. That's the reason. You have to check your code, Nandini. If you start your Aadhaar number, just wait. So then also it will not match the particular statement. Why? Because at the beginning I used the 0 and here I mentioned that starting of the Aadhaar card number must be from 1 to 9. User can't enter the 0. Okay, is it clear guys how to write the pattern for the Aadhaar card? Is it clear? Yeah, I restricted 0 in the first row. Correct. I don't want 0 at the starting of. That's the reason. That perfect pattern we will learn in the JavaScript, Vinay Kumar. In the JavaScript, many things are there. Over there, you will get it. Like in the JavaScript, we have concept call it as regular expression. So there you can achieve whatever the conditions you want. Done. So now here pattern for the password, not exact pattern guys, because as I said just now that exact condition we can't give by using the pattern attribute. Exact condition we will learn in the regular expression, but just till that time we can write somewhat random condition for the password. Like I want my password starting with the lowercase followed by the special characters followed by the digits. So that time I'm just going to create here one input box for the password, and here you can use the type equals to password. It's totally your choice. Give here placeholder equals to password and write down the pattern. So at the starting of the password, I just want lowercase alphabets. That's the reason I will give the content as A to Z. Size of this lowercase alphabet is not fixed, but I am going to restrict the user, that user infinite. So whenever you want to give the infinite condition, don't mention anything as a second value. If you are not going to mention anything as a second value, so it will get considered as an infinite. After the comma, don't mention the maximum length, it will consider as infinite, but minimum length of the lowercase characters is a 3. Followed by the lowercase characters, I want to allow at least one special characters. So all these special characters I will mention in one bracket, exclamatory mark, @ hash, dollar, as well as star. And here for all these special characters I said at least one I want. So one. Maximum length I am going to give as a 3. Maximum user can enter the 3 special characters. Then special characters followed by the number. So again 0 to 9, and here at least user have to enter 1 digit. Maximum user can enter any number of digit. At least user have to enter 1 digit. Maximum user can enter the any number of digit. Just close it and close the input tab. Just save it. Now, whenever user wants to enter the password, user have to enter in the same order. Firstly, at least 3 lowercase alphabets followed by at least 1 special characters followed by 1 digit. So observe whether are we able to submit the form or not. And here, firstly, I am going to enter at least 3 lowercase alphabets, then 1 special characters and 1 digit. Click on register, you can submit the form. Try to enter only 2 lowercase alphabet, 1 symbol and 1 digit. Click on register, it will show please match the requested format. If you enter exactly more than 3 lowercase alphabet and if you remove the @, then also it will show please match the requested format. If you are going to enter if you are going to enter without entering the number, if you are going to submit it, then also it will show the particular match the requested format. So this is how you can write the pattern, guys. So many things we learn. Either you can combine the contents, or your choice, you can specify the content separately. You can give the fixed length or you can give the range of the length. Here you can give the infinite length. So like this, all the things is happen. If you are going to use with the type equals to password also, here just place it, type equals to password, save it, go to the browser, refresh it, it will work. If you want to check it, just ठीक है. I am going to enter the wrong input. Click on register. It will show please match the requested format. So either you can use the pattern attribute with the type equals to text or type equals to password. Is it clear, guys? Okay, just try to use it.
అన్ని గ్రీన్ బాటిల్ పట్టుకెళ్ళు.
Is it done, guys? Completed? Okay, done then. So next, last attribute we are going to learn with your form tag. So that attribute is nothing but with the input tag you can use one attribute, or with the text area you can use one attribute, call it as disabled. So why we are using this attribute? Whenever you want to inactive any field inside the HTML forms, that time we are going to use this disabled attribute. Inactive in the sense what? Just observe. I use the disabled attribute with the particular button. Are you able to observe that button? Yes, that button is visible. But can I click on that button? No. So we are calling it as inactive. Like you can see that particular button on the web page, but you can't click on that button. but you can't click on that button. So whenever you want to disable any input box, any text area, whenever you want to inactive any text area or input box, just use with them one attribute, call it as disabled. Just save it, go to the browser and refresh it. You can see that, but you can't enter any value in that text area. You can see the button, but you can't click on this button. So ma'am, when we can active that, then ma'am, when we can active that, so we can active by using the JavaScript. So how to active this button, how to active the text area, we will see in the JavaScript. Till that time, just remember, if you want to deactive or inactive any field, that time we are using one attribute with the input box or text area, that is nothing but disabled. That is nothing but disabled. Just write. See, the many, I don't know whether you observe or not, in the many website, if you didn't enter the correct password or if you didn't enter the correct mobile number, you can't click on the button. In the many website, you can see this kind of things. But how to enable this once again, how to active this once again, right now I can't tell you. I will tell you in the JavaScript only. Test time. TCS. At what time TCS is there? Anyone have TCS exam? Saying then say clearly, your friend gave me the example like, ma'am, without selecting the answer, we can't click on the next button. So that is the example for your disabled attribute. In the TCS, many times, if you observe, because I didn't attend that exam, that's the reason I don't know. So if you didn't select the option in the answers, then you can click on the next button. Okay, thank you, Bahubali. Okay, everyone just write down these 2 lines about the disabled attribute and we will see the HTML tables. And afterwards, we are going to learn about the HTML table. So these 3 lines, 1, 2 and 3. That's it. And don't worry, this notes I didn't copy from any website. So don't assume that, okay, ma'am, just simply you're showing the notes. This all the notes I prepared by myself. So don't think that, okay, just she is going to take these notes from somewhere and she is going to show us. It is not at all like this. And you can find this kind of explanation on the websites also. Okay, I don't think so. Within 10 minutes, I can complete your HTML table. So I will teach you one new thing. Firstly, write down this, and then we will learn something, call it as how to change the text color of your particular label, as well as how to change the background color of the button. Search type attribute is just for the knowledge purpose, because for search we have to apply the backend code of the regular expression. Mahesh. Is it completed? Okay, good. So just observe here. How to change the text color of the label. So already we have so many labels. Whenever you want to change the text color of the label, we can do this thing by using the CSS only. For this, how to use the CSS in the HTML file. So whenever you want to use the CSS in the HTML file, we are using one attribute with our tag, call it as style attribute. Within this style attribute, to change the text color, we are using one CSS property, call it as color, then followed by colon. Like in the Java, you are using the assignment operator to assign the values for the variable. Similarly, in the CSS, if you want to assign the value for the CSS properties, we are using the colon. And now I am going to pass the color, supposedly red. End with the semicolon. Save it, go to the browser and refresh it. What? Yeah. Are you able to observe text color get changed? That label text color get changed. Are you able to observe this? So similarly, if you want to change the label, I am not saying placeholder color, we can't change the placeholder color, but if you want to change the text color, that time we are using the style attribute. Then in the double quotes, we are using one CSS property, call it as color. To pass the value for this CSS property, we are using the colon, and then we are giving the value as sky blue. End with the semicolon, just save it, go to the browser and refresh it. You will get the sky blue color. You will get the sky blue color. So is it clear how you can change the text color? Even if you can change by using that same property, you can change the text which is appearing on your button. Okay. So here HTML is not over, but some properties I am going to, some CSS property I will teach you in the HTML itself. So here again I will use the CSS with the button by using the style attribute. Within this style attribute I will use the color CSS property, colon, and pass the value as tomato. It is not eating wala tomato, it is color name. So save it, go to the browser and refresh it. So you will get some reddish shade color. So everyone understood? Yeah, style attribute we are using in the CSS. So remember guys, whenever you want to use the CSS in the HTML, use the style attribute with your HTML tag and use the color CSS property. To pass the value for that color CSS property, use the colon and pass the color and end with the semicolon. Sai Krishna, you can go with that. See guys, if you want to try any kind of color, mango, chili, tomato sauce, soya sauce, anything, try in your system. No problem at all. Firstly, try this and then I will teach you how to change the background color. No, just simply I said why sauce color will be there.
పాడకు
Is it done, guys? Okay, if you want to change the background color of any tag, that time also you can go with the same logic. Nothing but supposedly I want to change the background color of this text area. I want to change the background color of this text area. So what I will do, with the text area tag, I will use one style attribute. Within this style attribute, I will use the different CSS property, call it as background color. Because if I want to change the text color, I am using the color CSS property. If I want to change the background color, I will use the background color CSS property. Pass the value by using the semicolon. And here, I am just going to pass the color as black. Just save it, end with the semicolon. Save it, go to the browser and refresh it. You will get the black color for your text area. Like that, if you want to change the background color of your button also, after this semicolon, you can place the property, call it as background color, and just pass the value as blue. Just pass the value as blue. Save it, Go to the browser and refresh it. You will get the blue color. So like that, if you want to change the text color, go with the color CSS property. And if you want to change the background color, go with the background color CSS property. But attribute is same. Call it as style attribute. So CSS actually very easy. HTML and CSS very easy concept ever. Just try to use it. Is it done, guys? Completed. Did you understand how to change the background as well as text color? Okay, what is the topic we are going to learn tomorrow? Tomorrow we are going to learn about the HTML tables, as well as tomorrow we will see the multimedia tags. Two topic, HTML table as well as multimedia tags. So tell me guys, did everyone understand today's class? If I say no, that tomorrow we are going to learn this topic, that time only half of the class will leave. Okay, ma'am, done. Tata, bye-bye. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. Tata, bye-bye. Have a great evening. Good night, sweet dream. Take care in advance. Take care. Stay safe.